Welcome to Namaste Today, an optimistic way to kickstart your day. I'm your heartfelt host and the Sensei to some serious joy, Christopher Witecki. This audio blogcast is for Tuesday, August 1st, 2017. Welcome to August, my friend. Namaste. As we march into the month of August, your personal love story is about to heat up. In today's Zodiac Weather, I'll talk about how you will move forward in your self-love story and begin to intuit the story you were born to live. But first, I want to talk about a gnarly square we have going on between Jupiter and Pluto. Go steep yourself some tea, and let's have our daily tea time. Hello, my friend, and welcome to our tea time. Today's tea time topic is fear of change. Currently in the skies, we have a square today between Jupiter at step 17 Libra and Pluto at step 17 Capricorn. And this is a bit of a gnarly square because it is my opinion that from this point until the lunar eclipse on Monday, you may fear change. Now, the reason why you may fear change is for actually many astrological moments or stories. On the one hand, we are in the sign of Leo, which means we are exploring our heart, and many of us are not living the story we were born to live. Our heart is not happy, but then again, when the heart is unhappy, it tends to cling on to things and become very attached to things, even though these things don't make us happy. And so, even though our heart is seeking change in the big picture, we actually fear a change because we fear losing the things we do have, and nobody ever wants to gamble the good for the possibility of gooder. Now, the lunar eclipse that we will have on Monday will be a moment where the universe will call for you to detach from something your heart was once attached to, and that's so your heart can attach to something new. So basically, we're all kind of people in the deep end of the swimming pool. We're holding on to one side of the pool, and the universe is saying, hey, come on over to this other side where it's a lot more fun. And we literally have to let go of the side of the pool and trust to get to the other side of the pool. So I think we are all starting to feel inside of us that a change like that is coming. Now here's the other story, Jupiter squaring Pluto. Jupiter direct right now at step 17 is saying it's time to commit to a more fair story. A story where things are equal, where you see eye to eye with your employers, eye to eye with your colleagues, with your friends, that you are treated and on the level that you deserve to be treated. And Jupiter pushing for that is basically saying you don't belong at this deep into the pool, you belong at a level of the pool where it's more fun and more balanced. So through the week, there's going to be this building pressure that change is going to have to come. You're going to realize that your heart wants more. You're going to realize that you have to let go of what you have now to get there. You're going to realize that you deserve a lot more. You're going to decide that you deserve a lot more. And what could keep you from actually doing it? Fear of change. You may fear changing things, just on that same simple sentence, fearing change. No reason to, no necessary evidence in your face per se that it would go wrong. And Jupiter squaring Pluto, in my opinion, is that fear of change. Pluto in Capricorn is basically saying that society is going to have to change the rules, period. Pluto's motto is change or die. So Pluto will literally run over things. So I'm just here to tell you and give you a spoiler alert of how this story ends. You're going to change. But I think between now and Monday, you may have to fear or face your fears of that change. Now, the trick of this really is getting to the depth of where this fear is coming from. What are you really afraid of at the end of the day if you make a change in your life? And the astrology is saying you're afraid of changing the rules. You're afraid of doing it differently than you have before. You're afraid of making your own rules. You're probably afraid of going into uncharted territory. This is all the conditioning of Pluto and Capricorn, which is telling us we must change our rules. But at the end of the day, how often do we really change the rules? How often do we really feel that we are above the rules? Now, by rules, I don't necessarily mean breaking the law, but I do mean breaking your own tradition, like it's always been a rule in your life never to kiss on the first date. Who made up that rule? You made up that rule. What did you base that rule on? You base that rule on what other people's rules are and what have worked for other people. So it's very possible, is what I'm saying, that whatever it is your heart wants in the future, it will require you to rise above the rules. And that, I think, might be the basis of fearing change. It's not that you fear being on the cool side of the pool. It's that you fear rising above the way you've always done it and changing the rules and making the rules up as you go. It is literally uncharted territory. And the last time Pluto was in Capricorn, our forefathers and foremothers of the United States were contemplating changing the rules. Back then, they were living under a monarch. They had a rulership that could tax them without any warning or any voting or anything and change their economic status when it was a full ocean away. And these colonists sat down and started to consider, what if we didn't live by these rules? What would be the case? And I'm sure everyone came up with a lot of fear when they thought about what it would take to change those rules. The other aspect of fearing the change is the simple, obvious notion that you're going to have to let go of the side of the pool you've been clinging on to. You're going to have to let go to what your heart has been attached to, even though you're not happy with it. And you're going to have to emotionally nurture yourself as you get from point A to point B. And then on top of this, I think there's one deep, very subconscious fear that is bubbling up, and that is Black Lilith. Oh, Black Lilith. She is conjoining Saturn right now, which means everyone is being pushed to face whatever their personal, multi-lifetime fears are. The fact that Black Lilith is in Sagittarius tells me that this is the story of who you are. This is the story of who you have been. Where you are in this life is a result of all the choices you've made in past lives. And if you have any past life memory in your soul's history and Akashic record where you tried changing the rules and something went really wrong, well, that will probably give you even more fear of change. Well, as your Sensei to Serious Joy, I'm here to tell you that looking at the planets, looking at our species, looking at everything I know, there is no better time than now than to change your life. The universe is 100% behind the change. It's almost like you've been at sea as a vessel or a ship, and there's been no wind blowing whatsoever. What I'm telling you is the winds are picking up. They may not come back. And this is the time to listen to your heart and listen to what your heart's telling you versus listening to the fears that may come up from change. The time now, my friend, is to act. Now, there's a little more depth going on, and acting is what it's all about. So let's take a look at today's moods and your zodiac weather. This zodiac weather is for Tuesday, August 1st, 2017. And my global forecast for planet Gaia is sunny and excitable today. Step 9 rules the day, shifting your love stories into action. And the moon in Sagittarius calls in the story you were born to live. Let's take a look at the planets. Step 9 rules the day today, and we're in the season of I Love Me, Leo. Step 9 is our ego, and that means our ego is now getting behind what our heart wants, or perhaps getting angry. I do want to say there's a potential anger alert for people where your hearts have been mistreated or stomped on or neglected by yourself. This step 9 energy may first make you mad at everyone, but really your heart is mad at you, that you have not stepped up and given yourself what you want. So try to channel that Martian energy into taking and doing something for yourself today, my friend. Not just for yourself, but for your future joy. Now, adding more passion to this step 9 Leo energy is the moon. The moon is trining the sun today and transiting the early degrees of Sagittarius, which means in the first half of the day, you will most likely feel the past. And so emotionally, you may be feeling the past, feeling your early childhood, feeling something in the past. And what's happening here is the heart is sort of reviewing your story of when it has been pleased or not pleased over your lifetime. But don't worry, the moon moves into the second decan next, where you will explore what you can do now. And that is really today's universal point. Step 9, Leo, means it's time to take action for your heart and for loving yourself. Love is an action, my friend, not a thought, not a conscious idea. It is spiritual energy in motion. And the question is, what have you done for yourself lately? Now, adding a little spitfire to the day is Venus. She's at step 1, which is I love, in Cancer. So that turns up the love, and it also turns up the emotional nurturing. You know, we were working really hard there in the high tides of Cancer to get in touch with our feelings, figure out why we weren't feeling good or whatnot. And I don't really think we had a time to feel good or get the results of all of our work. So the good news is the universe is ready for you to feel good. You just have to open up to it. So with Venus at step 1, Cancer, things will become much more emotional and I think feel much better. Mercury is at step 6, Virgo, which is highly analytical. However, he is opposing Neptune at step 13, Pisces. This means the universe does have us a little fuzzy. In fact, your logic will be fuzzy for most of August. Mercury will spend a bunch of time opposing Neptune and then go retrograde on August 13th. So, what does this lead you to do? Well, quite simply, there's nothing to think about. It's about listening to your feelings and following your heart. That is clearly, I think, what the universal message is here from the planets. But I do have to give you a substantial fear alert, which is what I talked about in our tea time. We do have a powerful square coming into full apex right now. Jupiter at step 17, Libra. Pluto at step 17, Capricorn. Step 17 is a decision. So this means inside of you, you may be between two decisions. And I described, I believe the decision is, are you going to up the ante and get what you deserve and what is fair? Or are you going to change the rules or not change the rules? So it's a decision to change the rules or not. It's a decision to up the ante or keep the status quo. And these two decisions are colliding inside of you. Again, who has the answer? Your heart. Another fear alert is old Black Lilith. She's about to move to step 19 Sagittarius. That means that our fears right now are at the precipice of holding us back from moving forward. We're all ready to go manifest our story. We're all ready to go become the story we were born to live, but our fears may actually be holding us back for taking that step. So the moon is headed for Black Lilith, and you will face that fear directly in the next 36 hours. And then on a final note, I do want to put out an anger alert, not Amber Alert, but anger alert. The sun is at step 9, which could bring some anger, but it's also conjuncting Mars as well. And because it's conjuncting Mars as well, it does mean that people will have a tendency to blame others. Now, considering you listen to my show, I think you'll be looking into your heart and looking into where you can do better for yourself. But I want to put out that warning to be careful, look both ways before you cross the street. I think people will be maybe going a little too far, especially the people who are more asleep. All right, my friend, that wraps up today's Zodiac weather. Incidentally, if you are a subscriber to my personal Sensei service, today your Megascope monthly reports are live and available to be listened to. For those who aren't subscribers, the Megascope monthly report is a 10-minute report I do for your sun sign and your rising sign as one of the many features that comes with your personal Sensei service. You can try my service for just $3.99. Visit SeriousJoy.com. Well, friends, go out there and do something for your heart today. While you're out there, remember I love you and live, love, be.
Live, love, be.